Welcome back to The Unexpected Part 4. Unfortunately, Luke is back. But on the same note, it's fortunate that he's back. Here's what happened.
My name is Luke, and this is my experience. What's up, guys? It's Luke again. I'm sorry that I'm seeing you guys again under these circumstances, but it's not all bad. So this is my second time here at Experience Ibogaine. I was here about 6 months ago for my first day, and first time around, I thought that I could handle going back home afterwards, and realized very swiftly that that was a bad move. So I'm back here to get it right this time and set up a correct aftercare. So my aftercare program, what we decided to do for my aftercare was sign up for woof.com, WWOOF.com, which is a work for stay situation, and you can commit to a certain time for a work for stay on a farm, which is like they house and feed you for like 30 hours of farm work a week. And I signed up for a dragon fruit farm in Maui, Hawaii, and now I'm flying to Hawaii in a week to be a farmer now and get better for everybody I've been letting down back at home. I'm just not gonna come home until I'm better, and I'm super excited for it. Honestly, it's gonna be really good. I chose Ibogaine for a second time because it worked the first time. It's just that simple. It detoxes you, it gets you through it, and why fix something that's not broken? The detox wasn't the issue last time. It was the lack of an aftercare was the issue. You have to do it for you. You cannot do it for other people. It can't be for anyone else. It has to be for you. And right now, I'm feeling super grateful and super excited for the future and this next chapter into my life. And I'm excited to keep you guys posted on it. Let's get it.
What you just watched is something that is not unfamiliar to us. In fact, it's quite common. So many people leave here with overconfidence. Now, confidence is great, but being overconfident can really get you in trouble. So many people think that they got this, they just need to get over their withdrawals, and that they can go back and resume the same social life. And that just doesn't work. Luke is a prime example of it. He went to Cape Cod as part of his aftercare plan, but didn't really stay there a heck of a long time and went back to Bridgeport, Connecticut. Basically picked up where he left off. That happens all the time. You watch videos on Ibogaine online and everybody's showing success stories, but this is the ugly truth about it, and it's fairly common. So when we stress aftercare, we mean it. Me, for instance, after my treatment, I really didn't have a life to go back to, but I realized that if I went home, my neighbor was slinging dope right next door. Since I've been down here, the ATF and FBI kicked down his door, and he's doing time. And I can guarantee you, if I didn't overdose, because thankfully I got out of this before fentanyl was a thing, but if I didn't overdose, I would have been in that same room when they kicked down the door, and I would have been locked up. Starting your life over is really easy when you can get away from home. You got a fresh slate to just begin building your new self. And it was really tough leaving my entire social life behind on my friends, my family, but my life is so much better now, and I've made new friends, and my family comes and visits. And I've been back home since. In fact, I just got back from Boston for the Celtics parade, and no triggers, no nothing, but it's been 12 years. It's not like you have to stay home indefinitely, but in your first 6 months to a year in recovery, that's when you're most vulnerable, that's when you're in jeopardy, and that's when you're most likely going to make bad decisions. So what Luke is doing after this is great. It's a fairly inexpensive program that basically you can go anywhere in the world and work on an organic farm. He's going to Hawaii, which I think is great. In fact, I think he's going to fall in love with Hawaii and figure, why would I ever want to go back to Bridgeport, Connecticut? Initially, he was thinking about going to Thailand, which would have been pretty cool. But either way, he chose Hawaii, and we support him in that. And he's going to leave there directly from here. It's great. It's a great aftercare plan. Other people, they like to get into other types of programs, inpatient, outpatient programs. That's part of the reason why we have an inexpensive price comparative to other facilities that charge an arm and a leg. And they offer the same thing as us, except they tack on stuff like meditation and yoga and breathing exercises, healing stones, stuff that has no scientific value on the outcome of your recovery. And they charge you a heck of a lot more. And our view is instead of charging people $5,000 more and offering, silly stuff like that, you should take that $5,000 and invest it into your aftercare, because there's a lot of different options. Aftercare it's not a one size fits all program. So you got to figure out what works for you. That has been one of our main focuses, is to bring down the cost to make this accessible to as many people as possible. Facilities that cater to the rich and celebrities and whatnot, and they charge quite a bit. But when I first got into this business, I was looking at a lot of the other clinics down here, and a lot of them were owned by people that had no ties to addiction whatsoever. They weren't addicts, and they were profiting off of people who were in a miserable place, sometimes putting $4,000 or $5,000 in their pocket off of each patient. And I just saw that as morally wrong. So when I got involved, I decided to bring the costs to an affordable rate without cutting corners when it comes to safety. One of the main reasons I did that was because if I didn't have my parents, I never would have been able to afford this treatment. I never would have done this treatment. So I want to make this accessible to people who are like me, your everyday addict, your average addict. So that's one of our goals here, is to make this as accessible as possible. And with that, if you have extra money, put it towards your aftercare. I can't stress enough, aftercare, aftercare, aftercare. Luke is a great example, because you watch videos online and you think that Ibogaine is all sunshine and cotton candy, but there's a grim reality that a lot of people don't make it. They go back. So many people are just like desperate and itching to get back to their social life. You wouldn't imagine how many people are like, I just want to get back to my baby's mom, or I just want to go see my friends, my family. You got to take a break and take care of yourself, ground yourself, and figure yourself out before you can ever think about going back. What Luke's doing is great, and we're really happy that he made it back here. A lot of people don't make it back here, and it's a sad reality. So I just can't stress enough. If you're going to do this, if you're paying for it especially, you're going to want to make this work. So aftercare. And if your family's paying for it, don't waste their money. If you really want this, invest your time into your recovery post-treatment, because it's super important. Ibogaine is just the first half of this process. It gets you off the drugs in the most comfortable way possible. But staying off of them, that's the second part of the whole thing. So really, I just can't stress it enough. Have a good plan in place before you even get here. Start thinking about it the second you get off the phone with Michael. We've been doing this a long time, and we've seen a lot of people fail, and it gets disheartening. And we try to stress stuff, but once again, some people are just overconfident. But I hope this message gets out to people before they get here, and they heed it with a lot of thought, because it's just, if I could name every single person that failed, that rushed home and thought they had it, be pages and pages and pages. So, my name is Aiden. Have you ever been experienced?